Recently, American Crystal sugar workers throughout the Red River Valley were locked out by their employers after the union rejected a contract deal. Now, unions over the last year have been coming under attack by a lot of people, especially over in Wisconsin. We saw the numerous protests. Even here in Minnesota, the state legislature had some bills that they were discussing in committee levels that would have enacted some very similar laws to what we saw enacted in Wisconsin against public sector unions there. Even last year, our own Snappies here in Detroit Lakes locked out their employees over a contract dispute. Over the last few years now, unions seem to be coming under more and more fire. Well, why is that? Well, I think it's because over the last 20 plus years, unions haven't demonstrated a usefulness in our society anymore. To be honest, as the consumer, what does the consumer get to benefit from a union? Obviously, the workers involved in many of these unions have many benefits they enjoy, but at a very high cost to either you, the consumer, or you as the taxpayer. Employers themselves have a tough time having to deal with different union contracts and having to pay those employees at those heightened salaries. And every couple years we have to deal with even our teachers and deal with those contracts. And every year it goes up and up. Meanwhile, education funding gets less and less. So the money that we're spending that should be going for, books, desks, and updated teaching equipment ends up just defaulting to pay these union contracts, these benefits, and these pensions. And in the end, the kids are losing out. And in the end, the teachers, in fact, are having tougher and tougher jobs, having to keep track of more and more kids and having to teach more and more subjects. I think it's time for this country really takes a hard look at unions, and it's starting. Unions have served a great role. When they first were established at the turn of the century during the Industrial Revolution, many people were maimed, hurt, and injured working at their jobs, were then thrown out with no kind of compensation. And that is definitely wrong. Unions stepped in and did a great thing for those companies, helping them out in great ways. However, I think we've gotten past that. I think most companies know the value of their employees and pay people based on those skills, not necessarily just because it's contract time, and so therefore they deserve a raise, even if the job hasn't changed at all, or even in the case of our own public school system, education is actually getting arguably worse, and the schools are acting more like babysitters as opposed to educators. Now, is it the union's fault this has happened? No. But the expense that they are causing is making it tougher and tougher to rectify the situation. So what's the next step for us now as a country? I don't know. But if you watch what's happening politically, unions are becoming the targets because of their expense. And expense with the way the debt ceiling just got settled is a top priority in this country. Otherwise, what kind of future are we forwarding to our children?